Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash, Barakathon, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone, rule well, to the Akim Akrat, travel to four corners of the earth, holding on in sincerity and truth to the gospel of Amashak Yahushai. Shalom, shalom, shalom. So, the Apostle Tar, went into the price of precious metals. So you have to be aware that when the economy is going through all these straits, you always have the movement of capital into and out of precious metals, into different commodities. When the economy is in good shape, you start seeing the rise of your regular stocks of your corporations, whether it's on the Dow Jones or the Standard & Poor's or NASDAQ. But when you don't have a real economy, you start seeing abnormalities, right? Abnormal movements, anomalies in the market. So on this app called TradingView, you can always take a good look at the cycle of prices for commodities. You could choose whatever commodity on the screen, and then you just examine the cycle, and then you have the tool or indicator called the stochastic oscillator or stochastic RSI to help you study the pattern at which the price, the momentum of price change, so you could see how it is. So when you have that blue line crossing over the orange line, it shows you that's a switch in momentum, and then you can also take a look at certain patterns if you want to look at how the market is going to react. You could see in the middle right there between October and November, you see the price of gold going up. You see the price of gold going up somewhere from the beginning of October, right there. But when it gets in the middle, you see it reaches a peak and then turns down. All right, when you look at the green candles, the green candle basically lets you know they have a opening price. It's pushing up, and then the closing price is where the price stops for that session. All right, so this is the daily. Session in the market for gold. So if it opens at the bottom and closes at the top, if the closing price is higher than the opening price, the candle will be green. If the closing price is less than the opening price, the candle will be red. So these are your regular candles. You also have different types of chart representations for the movement of price. Okay, so when you look at the stochastic oscillator at the bottom down there, you see it shows a slope downwards. So that tells you have a divergence. That the momentum is weakening, even though the price kept going up. It shows that the momentum of gold price going higher is not as what people claim to be. So this is what the experts use to let you know that we see a pullback in the price of gold. So the price of gold pulls back from 4,500 around there to around 4,000. Then you can see exactly what is going on. So that's about a $500 pullback. All right. So you have to know what you're going to be dealing with. So You have different tools you can add to your chart to understand what the deal is when it comes to market analysis. All right, you could also plug in silver. You could look for silver and then plug it in and see what comes up. Let's see if we could get silver. All right, that is silver right there. Yep, so you could see about the same time that gold went down, silver went down too. See how the price is increasing, and then something comes up. It's basically the big banks that control the price. When you have the price, the green candles and the red candles in the upward trend, but then the statistical analysis tool is pointing downwards, that tells you have a divergence, that the price of the precious metal is about to come down. So it's just one of those things you have to be aware of. If the price is at the bottom, but then the oscillator is pointing upwards, that tells you that we have a divergence. So what you see on your screen for the price to come down, you know, when the tool is showing you, it tells you have a negative divergence. You have positive divergence and you have a negative divergence. So you have to be aware of the things that you have to deal with when you're studying the charts. All right. So this is what you have to. This is what you have to be aware of. So when you look at from March to around April, you can see the price of silver coming down. But then when you look at that tool, you can see it's pointing upwards. The low turn. You're looking at the turning points. So from March towards the first week of April, or let's say April, you can see it has that slant upwards. You could see that in April it's a little bit higher than what you have in March. So when you see that turning point right here, and then you compare it to what you have here, you could tell that it's higher. So when you have this, is what you call the bullish divergence. So that's one of the things you have to look into when you studying the price movements of metals, and it's all part of prophecy. It's a cycle. So this is just for the daily cycle. You could switch it over to the weekly cycle, and then from there, this is so if that's a daily, you can move it over to 1 month or 5 days. So if you do 5 days, you can see it's different. This is the price of the price of silver. Yeah, the price of silver. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. Yeah, right there. Yeah, so you could just use your Gmail account to just sign up for a free account here with TradingView. The app is called TradingView. You could use it on your cell phone. You could use it on your computer. It's it's one of the popular platforms you could use for trading and to understand what it is. You're dealing with when it comes to the market, whether it's interest rates, you see the dates and the time, the reaction of the market to the news, and all those little geopolitical incidents that you have to be aware of. So you can always use a tool like this to understand what's really going on. All right, when you have unemployment and the employment numbers, the market reacts in a volatile way. All right, for the most part. So it's not that difficult understanding the way the market moves. You just have to study. You just have to read. So sometimes price will be in a range. for several months or for almost for years, and then it just breaks up. It could break up or break out to the upside or break out to the downside. So this is how the elites move the market, man. This is how they make money. Those that learn how to trade the market, they have to study all these patterns of price change, momentum and all that stuff. So Alvarez, you can also learn too. So many videos on YouTube you can watch to learn how to read the charts. It takes practice. Just one precept I'd like to read is going to be from the book of Sirach, chapter 5, and verse 15 says, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small." So you just have to apply that principle. Play with the charts, see exactly what you can learn, and then from there you have a better insight when you're going into the scriptures, breaking down why certain things happen in the economy also. All right, Shalom.